Hey friend, Callan here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to record amazing acoustic guitar in just 3 steps. So I've got my guitar here, freshly tuned up. Let's dive right in. Tip number 1, or step number 1 here, is that you want to choose the right microphone for the job. For me, when it comes to recording acoustic guitar, I prefer either a small diaphragm condenser or a large diaphragm condenser. It really depends on the guitar and what we're recording. If it's more intimate, if it's something more like fingerstyle, I'll opt for a small diaphragm condenser because you can get in closer to the guitarist and closer to the artist without the microphone kind of eating up space and making it uncomfortable for the player. If it's more just straight strumming work, then I'll opt for a large diaphragm condenser. My preference is a large diaphragm condenser, but if I need to get closer, if it's more fingerstyle stuff, I will opt for a small diaphragm condenser. But large diaphragm condenser is what I choose most of the time. The reason being is that the acoustic guitar is a very full range instrument from top string to bottom string here. It covers a large portion of the frequency range, and using a regular old dynamic microphone isn't going to capture that fullness of the acoustic guitar. It'll capture the mid-range really, really nicely, sometimes better than a condenser microphone will, but it's going to lack the top end and the bottom end that you'll get from using a large diaphragm or a small diaphragm condenser. So a condenser microphone is going to give you the pretty top end that you want off your acoustic guitar from the string noise, and it's going to give you the nice bottom end, the nice fullness and weight that you'll get when you have someone that's strumming on an acoustic guitar. You want that presence, top end, bottom end, and you want that weight that comes with strumming on an acoustic guitar or fingerstyle. You're going to get some nice bottom end when you have someone playing fingerstyle. I would play, but I can't play fingerstyle because I'm not technically a guitarist here. So when you're playing fingerstyle, if you're playing intimate like that, you're going to get some nice warmth and some bottom end off the instrument. So you want a microphone that's going to be able to capture that. And a dynamic microphone is just not the one for the job. It's not going to give you everything that you want to get out of the instrument. So for microphone choice, either opt for a small diaphragm condenser if you need to get in closer and if you need some more articulation off of the instrument, or opt for a large diaphragm condenser. Both of them are going to give you the pretty top end that you want, they're going to give you the nice full mid-range that you want, and they're going to give you some good bottom end warmth and weight off of the guitar. Now, step number 2 is that we need to place the microphone. There's a couple different things you can do when placing the microphone. My favorite, and what I usually opt for most of the time, is bringing the microphone in and pointing it at the body of the guitar here, right where the neck is meeting the body. So if you don't have one that's cut away here, you can go for the bottom, and it'll get you a little bit farther from whoever's playing the artist's mouth, because sometimes if they're leaning in and they start, mumbling, or they're humming along, they're singing along with what they're playing, or if they're just breathing really heavy as well, you'll catch that in a condenser microphone. So if you have one that's not cut away on the bottom, I like to opt for miking right here. Keeps you farther from the artist's mouth if they're making any noise or anything. Still gets you that tone off the body, and it gets you that nice string, that nice brightness from the string sound right here. That's why I like miking the body. If you do have someone that's using a cheaper or a really budget, beaten down acoustic guitar, miking the body right here or right here is not going to be as beneficial because you're not going to get a lot of tone off the body. The cheaper the guitar, the more you want to stray away from the body of the guitar because it's going to be cheaper material and it's not going to give you a real nice tone. That's when you want to opt for just miking the fretboard here or miking where the neck meets the body. But if you do have a nice player, if you have a nice acoustic guitar, miking the body either here or right here, right where the neck is meeting the body, is going to give you some really beautiful tone off the body of the guitar, and it's still going to give you the brightness from the strings here where they meet the body of the guitar. When you're miking here on the body, I opt for here or here instead of, back here or right here, because I want to get away from the sound hole. So you can see where I'm bringing the mic in here. I'm pointing at the body here, right where the neck is meeting the body, but I'm angled away from the sound hole. So I'm not pointing at the sound hole And I'm not pointing straight on here because I would still get sound off the sound hole, direct sound off the sound hole, which is going to be boomy, it's going to be dark, it's going to give us a lot of proximity effect. The closer you are to the sound hole, the more air blast you're going to get off the sound hole, which is really going to clip your microphone. It's going to blow things out. It's going to get you a boomy and muddy recording. We don't want that. We want to get some of the tone from the body without that. So I'm coming in here, pointing at the body of the acoustic guitar, but angled away from the sound hole. So I'm not getting that direct sound off the sound hole, but I'm still capturing some of the body of the guitar while keeping some of the brightness and the top end from the strings in there. Now, the other thing you can do, which a lot of people do, is they like to mic up here around the 12th fret. So if you're not as concerned with getting some tone off the body and you want to get just a brighter sound off the guitar, shoot for miking around the 12th fret here. And that is something you can go straight on for because we're not even in range of the sound hole anymore. We can just point the mic directly at the 12th fret here and we'll get that brightness off the strings. If it's something more intimate like we talked about before, finger style or something like that, or really soft strumming, something more folky or indie, miking up here around the 12th fret, it's something you can get really close on, and it's going to give you that really pretty and really bright string sound without any of the noise from the body or the sound hole. So that's our step one and step number two. Now we're going to jump into the DAW where we can look at step number three. All right, here we are inside the DAW to talk about step number three. Step number three for recording amazing, I can't even say amazing, for recording amazing acoustic guitar is setting your input gain correctly. Now, in all of the videos I do on recording, I like to say a good happy medium for recording mostly any instrument when setting your input gain is getting your input level somewhere around -12. You can see I have my mic next to me here. And that's our input level coming in. It says bass mic because it's just the microphone from the bass amp that we usually put on the bass amp, but it's pulled over here and plugged into our mic for recording acoustic guitar here. So we can see our level coming in here. You can also see it coming in here as well. This is our track that is enabled, bass mic. So here's our input. Here's the track it is coming into here. And we want to set our level so that when we're playing, this here is going to be sitting around -12. That's going to give us enough headroom above and below the guitar. So if the guitarist, I'm the guitarist here today, but if the guitarist is playing quietly, if they're doing something more finger style, if they're picking and it's quieter, some lower strumming, our guitar is still going to be coming in at an audible and decent level. And if they start playing harder, we're going to have enough room, enough headroom above where our input is set that we're not going to clip our preamp or clip on the input on the way in. So it's a good happy medium that's going to give us a healthy guitar level. So I'm going to turn here. So I'm in front of the microphone and we're going to record a little bit of acoustic guitar. So let me get back into position here. So I've got my mic pointing here at the body of the acoustic guitar, right where the neck meets the body here, pointing away from our sound hole. This is the mic off just in the room here, just my talkback mic here for video shooting, but you can see on the level here, it's coming in around -12 when I'm playing. So watch one more time, right on our level. All right, so we've got our level set at a good place. So if I do strum harder, the highest we're getting up there is about -9, maybe a little bit lower. And if I do strum quieter, we're only falling to about -18. So it's still a good, healthy level on our acoustic guitar. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute my talkback mic here in the room for the video, and I will enable the monitor on our acoustic guitar track here. We're going to record a little bit of acoustic guitar. We can see the level on the way in, and then we can listen back to it here inside the DAW as well. So I'm going to mute my mic, and I'll actually click on the monitor here. So now you can hear both of them at the same time. And I'll mute this, and we're going to play a little bit of acoustic guitar here. We're going to record a little bit. All right, so you should still be able to hear me here in this mic. I'm going to record a little bit. We can see our level coming in. We can hear what it sounds like on different mic positions as well. So we've got our mic in position here on the body of the guitar, pointing away from the sound hole. Here's what we're sounding like in this position. We can see we've got a good healthy level coming in there. Now, let me play you what it sounds like if we are pointed at the sound hole here. So I'm going to scooch over a little bit. Now we're pointed directly on the sound hole. Here's what we'd sound like there. So that's directly on the sound hole. And if I move over, the other mic position we talked about was pointing at the 12th fret here. So now we've got our microphone pointing at the 12th fret. Here's what we sound like if we're pointing at the 12th fret. All right, so we've got all of our different mic pieces now, or all our different recordings. Let me throw this guitar off to the side here, and we will take a listen to what everything is sounding like here. I'm actually going to stop our recording here as well. So we've got our 3 different recordings. Even if we just look visually at it, we can see how things change based on the mic position, okay? As long as you're choosing a good microphone and you're setting your input level right, no matter where we place it, we're not going to clip and we're not going to disappear. So where I usually place it, pointing at the body there where the neck meets the body, that's this guy here. So we can see we've got a good healthy level there. Now if we put it where I say never to put it here, right on the sound hole where we get it's dark and it's boomy, we can see our level jumps up quite a bit here. And then if we go to the 12th fret, which is our another alternative place, if you need something a little bit more intimate, a little bit more closer, you can see our level drops a little bit, but we're still at a good level and it's still gonna be audible here. So let's go through and let's take a listen to a couple of these. So here's where I normally place it. You can see we've got a full and balanced level there. Full frequency range as well. Here's on the sound hole now. Definitely got a lot more low end energy there, getting a little bit muddy, a little bit boomy. And here's our last one on the 12th fret. At the 12th fret. So that one, we're losing a little bit of that bottom end, a little bit of that weight and that warmth that we want from our acoustic guitar, but it's brighter and it feels a little bit more intimate because we're more up on the strings there of the acoustic guitar. You can see how this sits in a variety of mic positions, so getting an amazing acoustic guitar recording right at home in just 3 steps. Step number 1 is choosing the right microphone. I recommend choosing a condenser microphone. Large diaphragm, small diaphragm is going to help you capture the top end and the bottom end really, really nicely on your acoustic guitar and get a full range, full frequency range recording. Step number 2 is mic position. I like to put it on the body of the acoustic guitar, right where the neck is meeting the body on the acoustic guitar, but you can also put it on the 12th fret if you want something more intimate, if you want something a little bit closer to the guitar, but try and avoid the sound hole. It's going to get you something that's dark and that's boomy and it's just going to be muddy. That's not what we want off of our acoustic guitar. And step number 3 is setting a healthy input level on our acoustic guitar recording. For me, anywhere around -12 on the input gives you enough headroom above that you're not going to clip, and enough headroom below that even if you're playing something quieter, it's still going to be audible inside your recording. I hope that was helpful for you. If you are looking to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an audio engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF guide that will walk you through the entire mixing process step by step to help you get more professional mixes in less time without any more of the guesswork. Completely free to download. You can get access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.